Hey friends, it's Kimberly with ReikiandCoaching.com, and just as I've been sitting here soaking up some sun, really disconnecting and listening to just the sounds of the earth, and really just watching the water go by. I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can kind of see, and we just passed. You really can't see it now, but if you watch, and I'm sure you can imagine, I'm sure you've seen spots like this before. So the water's pretty low right now as we head into winter, or as we head into fall. The end of summer, it's starting to dry out. You can see that the water was higher. But if you look after that, there's a big rock down there in the middle, and off to the left there's a little pool of calmer water, where here on this little river, now the size of a creek, but the water's moving at a pretty good clip. You can hear the sounds, you can see the movement, you can hear the deeper sounds where there's a bigger drop, some tinkling sounds where it's a little bit higher pitch, right? Where there's a little more smaller, sharper rocks. And then you can almost see, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but right over there's a little pool of calm. And you know what it got me thinking is that our lives are a lot like that. A lot like this water. We have periods in our life where the rocks are a little sharper and the sound's a little crisper, a little tinkler, that's my own invented word, a little tinklier. And we have other sounds that are deep and rich and full, other spots in our river of life, if you will, where it's a little deeper. Maybe the pressure's a little more, the drop's a little more, right? And sometimes in our lives, we can find these quiet pools of calm where the movement slows and it's almost clear like glass in those moments of calm. And there, in those moments of calm, we can rest and rejuvenate and then join back in the flow and continue down. I just thought that was pretty cool as that thought came over me. And then too, I thought about how the river doesn't have to push its way through the mountainside. You can see here, we're kind of in some deserty. You've got some trees there that drink deep, and you've got some more rugged, harsh rock. And you can see areas where the water just kind of made its way through. It didn't have to push. It just eased its way through. Maybe it didn't have a straight course. Maybe it did have to wind and bubble and babble, just like our lives are. Sometimes I think that we make our journey harder when we're focused on achievement rather than receivement. That thought came to me today as I was in church, and one of the speakers talked about how he asked the question, what are you willing to receive? And so that thought has been percolating with me today as I thought about, and especially sitting here by this little riverbed, thinking about the parallels that we can make. The river doesn't have to achieve, it doesn't have to push. It just goes where it's received. And beautiful things happen. And along the path, you can see some plants are able to drink deeply. Some plants along the riverbed, you can see a little bit of greenery there. They were underwater before, drinking too deep, but now they're starting to green up, right? So sometimes along our path, we can feed those things that are willing to receive that are along our path. I just think that's beautiful. There's a lot of life lessons we can learn from just taking a pause and being observant here in nature. That's my thought for you today.